Hey, y'all know on the fly highs, coolest, smoothest young niggas doing this shit, y'all. Yeah. Same look, nigga, big pistol in the field block.
What's happening with the gang? Y'all tuned in with Huncho Faith, and we back with another video, you dig? Hey, man, got my Powerade, you feel me? Always, I don't drink sodas and stuff like that. Like, if I do drink a soda, it's gonna be a Sprite. But I'm trying not to drink sodas no more. Like, I don't even drink them anyway, but, you know, sometimes, like, you know, you might go get something to eat, and you like, damn, I need me a soda for this meal. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. But I mainly drink Powerade. They not gonna ever sponsor me, but this is my go-to drink, you feel me? The blue Powerade, that motherfucker is fire, you dig? Go get you one, gang. But yeah, man, as y'all can see by the title, this is the last and final episode of the Murder in Moncler, the Bronx deadly gang war. Thank y'all for tuning in with the series, you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all enjoyed it. I enjoyed it myself, personally. I learned a lot of different information. We only got a few minutes left in this last one, so we're gonna go ahead and get it started. You feel me? Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also follow me on the gram, and make sure y'all turn on post notifications so y'all know I'm dropping videos, you dig? Hey man, I hope y'all staying warm. Y'all see I got my robe on in these videos, bro, cause shit, I hate being cold, gang. I'm not even gonna cap. But let's get into it, man.
Walking with a woman through Sugar Hill, the OY territory. This is actually...
I'll be back in a second. We can't wait forever. Oh, you're not too fresh, please.
actually only 16th, 20th daylight murder that would take K-Flock off the streets at the very height of his career.
Let's go give me another ad.
I'll be back in a second.
Whoa.
We can't wait forever. Oh, you're not
On December 16th, 2021, K-Flock is walking with a woman through Sugar Hill, the OY territory. This is actually only 1 block away from where E.Baby filmed the Ready for War music video. And just before this incident took place, K-Flock was allegedly on FaceTime with one of his enemies and seemingly posting to social media that he has a gun in his Moncler jacket sitting in the exact spot where a scene from that Ready for War video was filmed. According to 1090 Jake's video about this situation, the video of K-Flock with the gun in his coat was filmed literally around the corner from where the following incident took place. Because seemingly moments after that video, K-Flock would walk around the street where he would be spotted by OY Walker, real name Oscar Hernandez, who sees K-Flock walking down the street in his designer outfit, exiting a barbershop and confronting him. The security footage that's currently available doesn't show exactly...
So this gotta do with the whole case that K-Flock is involved with right now. Damn.
Exactly what happens next. But only a moment after confronting the man in the designer outfit, the victim appears to be shot, flying back into the frame and landing on the ground with incredible force. Once again, this part of the clip I can't show you in this video. Hernandez had been shot in the neck and back, and he would later pass away in Mount Sinai Hospital. Following the killing, people began to pay respects to OY Walker on social media, unaware that the most famous rapper in the drill community might just be the one responsible. E-Dot would go on to post mourning the loss of Walker and updating his IG bio with a tribute saying everything for Wasker. And from here, naturally, the police would continue investigating this killing. And unfortunately for the shooter, their expensive and unique designer fit was captured in 4K on surveillance video. And only a day after the incident, the police would release an image of the suspect wearing that expensive outfit.
4:52, the NYPD has released surveillance video of a suspect wanted in a deadly shooting in Harlem. The incident took place yesterday morning on 151st Street and Amsterdam Avenue. According to police, Oscar Hernandez was inside a barbershop and the victim went outside to confront him. He was fatally struck in the neck and the back. He was later pronounced dead at Mount Sinai Hospital.
It was only a matter of time before they would piece everything together. Soon after this, K-Flock was identified as the alleged shooter, and a wanted poster with his face and name was issued citing second-degree murder charges. A social media post circulated seemingly showing K-Flock trying to get any outstanding recording done before he goes away for a while. And then on December the 23rd, K-Flock would surrender to officers at the 30th precinct. At this point, the NYPD would confirm that their well-dressed murder suspect was indeed in custody, only 2 minutes away from where the shooting took place. K-Flock's ops would react to the news of him catching this serious case, saying they hope he gets home soon so they can catch him.
Hey, yo, free that man, y'all heard?
Bro, that
free
shit,
that man.
bro.
We see that man. Cause that man, come on. I don't wish death, but we going up. You heard, Muddy?
Bro, Daddy, I want him to come home.
Yeah, I want him home, so flock that man down.
However, fans of K-Flock on social media were much less forgiving. Considering the privileged position K-Flock was in off of the back of his music career, many people couldn't understand why a famous rapper wearing an outfit worth thousands of dollars would do such a senseless and sloppy crime. People were saying K-Flock is the dumbest criminal in history. Tweets came out questioning why anybody would slide on an op in Amiri jeans, a Moncler jacket, and unreleased Jordan sneakers. Some joked that they simply couldn't believe that somebody would wear a $3,000 outfit to do a drill, pointing out the irony in his earlier lyrics about still toting a pistol whilst wearing designer high fashion. Others
Twitter is funny as fuck, bro. Like, if you ain't got a Twitter, get on Twitter, gang. That shit is funny as shit.
Suggested that they just couldn't believe that this had happened right next to a church at 10 in the morning, suggesting that K-Flock would have barely finished his breakfast before committing the crime. DJ Academics would come out with an array of nicknames for K-Flock, including the Designer Demon, the Moncler Menace, and the Amiri Assassin. Meanwhile, Adam22 of No Jumper would mourn what a waste of talent this story truly was, pointing out that days ago, K-Flock was the hottest up-and-comer in the rap game, and all of a sudden he's thrown it all away in a heartbeat. Things weren't looking good for K-Flock. However, his lawyer did at least try and put a positive spin on things, saying that he's begun his own investigations into the killing, and pointing out the fact that the NYPD had received a tip that someone else is the shooter. However, the validity of that claim is yet to be seen, and at this point the surveillance footage is incredibly damning. And in the meantime, K-Flock would find himself locked up in jail, waiting for an update on his case. But if you thought catching a murder charge and being sent to jail at the height of your career would be a humbling experience warranting some self-reflection, then you ought to think again. Because after arriving to jail, fighting for his life and career, it would appear that K-Flock was still on demon time, soon releasing a jail freestyle recorded on the phone where he disses his cousin D-Thang, who's still locked up at this point, suggesting that he got jumped in jail. In response to this, D-Thang would come out with his own freestyle recorded over the phone from jail, responding to and rebuffing K-Flock's lyrics.
K-Flock, why you locked on the net? Said I got hot, you know that cat. And for what, we gonna get to the fact you saw me face to face and you wasn't on that, like, so I wanna know. Heard you got here like 3 days ago. Like, who did you touch? Like, who got, can't talk too much, forgot I'm on his phone.
After this, more posts would come out where D-Thang would deny being attacked in jail, but many people simply could not believe that these two would continue beefing from behind bars, as if nothing had changed. Legend of Brooklyn drill Fabio Foreign would even come out to comment after listening to these two jailhouse drill disses, saying jokingly that he loved this newly invented genre of jail phone drill songs, and claiming that this is the only genre of music he listens to now.
I ain't never seen do the jail phone drill diss joints. I ain't gonna lie, I'm jacking the jail phone diss joints out. That's, for matter of fact, from now on, the only music I'm listening to is jail phone drill music. I'm not listening to no other type of music.
Fabio's right. This is definitely a first for hip-hop, but it really does just sum up the broken mentality of these two young men. For better or for worse, they're so motivated and obsessed with this street beef, which is understandable considering just how much bloodshed there's been on both sides, that ultimately fame, money, cars, and designer clothes, or even one's own freedom, is inconsequential, when their only motivation is disrespecting, hurting, or killing their opposition. Nothing else matters but getting down the ops, and they don't even care if that's their own flesh and blood. At this point, ultimately their hatred for each other seems so deep that it's hard to imagine that these young men could ever mature and move on from this, pointing their focus to other more important things in life, like their careers, making incredible art, or looking after their families. And sadly for K-Flock, he appeared to have had the clearest and biggest opportunity to break that cycle, but unfortunately, that simply wasn't enough for him to change his ways and break the cycle.
There's overwhelming grief following the death of 17-year-old Brandon Hendricks.
Outside his building tonight, candles glow in the shape of his initials, J.E.
Police say he was shot in the neck outside an apartment building on Davidson Avenue. He died at the hospital.
He was just a chill guy.
Loved ones lit candles and shared stories of 17-year-old Kether Wirtz.
Now, police say the call came in at 3:30 for a 15-year-old boy shot one time in the back. A police source tells me after the 15-year-old was shot, he made his way around the block towards his home.
Police found Vasquez in an East Gun Hill Road apartment around 10 p.m. earlier this month.
The victim, 18-year-old Damian Gilbert, died at the hospital, stabbed several times in the chest.
19-year-old Tyquil Dougherty was killed in this shooting. He was shot in the head and lived in this apartment building. He seemed to be walking in the doorway when he was shot in the head and killed.
Surveillance video from across the street captured some of that chaos as an ambulance brought the young victim to the hospital, where he would be pronounced dead.
Overnight, a boy murdered in the back of a taxi in the Bronx. Police say 2 suspects riding on a scooter opened fire on the cab, killing the 16-year-old in front of the driver, who was not hurt.
Justice for Benito! Justice for Benito! I feel like I could have a heart attack and die. Like, this is crazy. Like, it's unfair.
A New York Post article breaking down the 3 back-to-back killings in summer 2021 had a quote which said, "Everybody is walking around with a gun because they're more afraid of getting shot than getting arrested." And this really drives home the no-win situation that these kids in the Bronx are in. Sure, K-Flock had a bad attitude and just seemed itching to catch a body, but other teenagers being born into these dangerous areas and situations are really not getting a choice. If you're born in an area surrounded by gangs, perhaps you might truly feel that there is no alternative but to fit in with that culture, to survive. You're then forced to make the choice between carrying a gun and risking jail or a case, or remaining unarmed and waiting until it's the day that you're the one caught lacking and put on the news. An awful situation and an impossible choice. The whole thing is an unfortunate cycle with no end in sight. Then combine that with the fact that some of these kids being sucked into the gang warfare are literally children, teenagers as young as 13. It's likely many would have been groomed by older members to do crimes as a juvenile to protect themselves, because the risks and consequences for using kids to carry guns and carry out attacks is so much lower. If the only older role model from your area puts a gun in your hand and tells you shoot or be shot, do you really have a choice? Is it even possible to know any better? A lot of these young children in the tougher areas of America are really lacking the guidance and role models that they need to know better than carrying out these senseless acts of violence. At the end of the day, these are children. I know he claimed to be a tough guy and was really in the streets like that, but it's hard not to look at a picture of Rajiz and really just see an innocent teenager behind all the toughness. Many of the youths we've discussed losing their lives in this story had their whole lives ahead of them, with it being taken away in a split second as a result of being tangled in a deadly war that many of them may never have even had a real choice of participating in. And as a result, I've got a lot of sympathy for those on both sides. There's nothing glorious about the gang lifestyle. J-Rip was only 13 when he lost his life. That's not glorious. Even though the news described him as a young gang member and the intended target of an assassination, at age 13 there is just no way that you have a true appreciation of what you're getting yourself into. It's unfair to say that he deserved it, or he could have even appreciated the risks that he was growing up around. I personally look at everybody involved in this story, the killed and the killers, as victims of a much wider problem. Because at the end of the day, everybody involved has been forced to do evil by a vicious cycle of violence that sadly just never seems to end. It's easy to say that K-Flock should have known better, because by the time he allegedly killed someone, he had hit songs, lots of money, a record deal, and a bunch of designer clothes. But let's not forget, he too was still a teenager, lacking guidance and lacking the proper understanding to navigate the gifts that he had been given over the course of his rise to fame. It's easy to say that he's a dumb criminal doing a drill in an expensive outfit and getting caught, but really he was the victim of a broken mindset before his success even kicked in. All he heard his whole life was kill or be killed no matter what. Perhaps he should have moved out the Bronx by that point in his fame, but perhaps no one had told him that's what he should do. Maybe he was kept there by pride, ego, or by simply not realizing that at that level of fame, he was no longer safe in his city, anywhere. I just hope that at the very least, this video can be a lesson for the next generation of young men growing up in a difficult environment. That life is precious, and there's so much more to life than your block or your ops. And you don't need a record deal or a $3,000 outfit to realize that. Even when you're born into the most challenging environments, there's always a way out. But you have to make that decision to break the cycle of crime and violence so you can make it a different way. Whether it's through music, education, entrepreneurship, sports, or whatever your passion is. The only way to truly have a chance of surviving is breaking the cycle and being a shining example of what's possible. Sadly, it just doesn't look like K-Flock was able to do that in time. But I hope from here, many of the other names that we've mentioned in this story that still have their lives and successful careers in rap can make it out and live long, positive lives as artists. I hope you found watching this video interesting and educational. Thank you for giving me your time and watching it. And finally, rest in peace to all of the young men who tragically lost their lives over the course of this story.
Damn. Look at all these people. Noah Baller, Hugh Hef, Smelly, Brandon, I'ma just K-Dub, JB, Yellow, Delilah. Oh, that's the girl y'all was telling me about in the comments. Ty Swish, J-Rib, Rajiz, Nas Roller, and O.Y. Walker. Damn. That's 13 people, bro. Damn. Rest in peace for real, man. That's some crazy shit. That's crazy, bro. in peace for real, bro. And shout out to, who is this again? Trap Lord Ross. Shout out to Trap Lord Ross with this whole video, man. It was I found it very informational myself, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to him for even making this video, taking the time to do his research and get all this information into one video. That video was what? We just finished out a hour 29 series game. You feel me? We just finished that out. So if y'all stay tuned for the series, shout out to y'all, man. Much appreciation to y'all. Thank y'all so much. I enjoyed it. Again, shout out to Trap Lord Ross. Hey, now we in tune, man. I'm gonna start doing some more series on the channel, so y'all ain't even got a trip. You feel me? Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Get at me on the gram. Turn on those post notifications, gang. I'm out, man.
Hey, y'all know on the fly how it's cool and smooth, young niggas doing this shit, y'all. Yeah. Same look, nigga, big pistol in the field.